Next, my father. Audio MP3 number 3. I miss my father very much. I cannot wait to see him again. There are so many things I want to say that I feel I didn't get a chance to say. Of course, that's a false statement, because the chances were there. I simply didn't take them. Note, to view actual video clips and hear the inspiring words said about Charles Thompson Sr., go to worldemergency.com, click on Age of 42, look on the Table of Contents page, and scroll down to the title, The Funeral. Rest, meditate, and reflect. 3. Salah. Think on this question. Are you fully honoring your mother and father, and not just once a year, but as a way of life? Verse 4, for God said, honor your father and mother, and anyone who curses his father or mother must be put to death. Matthew chapter 15, verse 4, New International Version. Next, the things that matter are the things that really matter. Audio MP3 number 4. So often, we wait too long to say the things that we should say to our friends and acquaintances, and certainly to our loving family members who mean the world to us. What a very stupid and selfish thing it is to wait like that, to wait to tell those who are significant in our lives how much we care about them, how much we love them, how much they really mean to us. I always thought I had more time to express everything I felt in my heart for my dad. Too often, that is the excuse many of us use. We think we have more time, and that is always a fatal mistake. In all meaningful relationships, the positive growth must be maintained. Any unfortunate circumstances impeding positive growth must be resolved quickly. The many uncertainties of life and death are just that, very uncertain. I know in my foolish heart I didn't call my father often enough. After one of the very rare times I did call, I still remember him saying, son, just call me anytime, no matter what. It don't have to be something special. I just want to hear from you. Frequently, my pops made that statement, and I always replied, okay, Pops, I will. I'll make sure. But again, the time would pass by. Precious opportunities would be lost. Weeks or even a month would go by, and he would end up calling me, to my own shame. And now, all I can say is how sinful a son I was. I allowed much time to pass away, and finally, sadly, so did my father. I was too late to make it right with him, too late to tell him how I really felt. Actually, too late does not tell the truth either. I was simply absent, the absentee son who only on very rare occasions appeared to show my father the love and respect due him. I was foolish, stupid, and disrespectful, taking time and my father for granted. Now, here's a movie side note. I'm reminded of the movie Glitter, starring Mariah Carey. The critics hated it, but what do they know anyway? To me, it was quite profound. It is basically a film about a life of choices, and the right and often wrong choices we choose to make while living it, of course. Miss Carey played a singer in this movie, and right before one of her performances, her manager was murdered. Before her final song on stage, she made this profound statement: "Everybody out there, don't ever take anybody for granted, because you never know when you might lose them, and you may never get a chance to tell them how you really feel." Age of 42 author. Fortunately, I was mercifully blessed by my Father in heaven to be able to see and talk to my physical father before he died. But selfishly, I wasn't even in the right city or state after receiving the notice of his illness. When his condition took a turn for the worse, I flew from Los Angeles to Chicago the very night before he died. What an enormous blessing it was for me to be able to see my pops, talk to him, touch him, and hold his hand while he was still alive. It was an overwhelming, wonderful gift from the Eternal. In spite of my wretched self, the Almighty gave me this blessed opportunity to be able to apologize. The grace God gave me was another chance to express how much I loved him, how much he meant to me, how blessed and happy I was to be his son standing at his bedside. My younger brother was a much better son to my father, and he took very good care of him in my foolish, selfish absence. The Almighty even granted the two of us the opportunity to sing to him before he died. Of course, I don't know if my bad singing hastened him to his death or not, but I certainly enjoyed it very much. My brother and I sang "A Change Is Going to Come" by Sam Cooke. For those of you who are not privileged to know the words of this profound song, it goes like this. I was born by the river in a little tent, and just like the river, I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change is going to come. Oh, yes it will. It's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die, 'cause I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change is gonna come.
In a little tent, oh, and just like the river, I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. It's been too but I'm afraid to die, 'cause I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will.
Age of 42 author. What a precious and priceless gift God gave me. After being such an awful son throughout all the many years that he cared for me, My father worked extremely hard, protecting and providing everything I ever needed. In the end, in spite of myself, the giver of gifts gave me the opportunity to be a final light and example. Reading God's word to him from the book of Psalms was spiritual icing on the cake. As I began to read the Creator's word, I could see and feel a real strong sense of peace flow over my father. A beautiful peace. A peace that was sweet. As the scripture says, verse 24, when you lie down, you will not be afraid. When you lie down, your sleep will be sweet. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 24, New International Version. My sister wasn't as fortunate. She was still in California and did not come in time before he died. Her relationship with my father was a turbulent one. Of course, they loved one another, but they had some issues that had not yet been resolved, some remaining blemishes unhealed. Time was running out on both of them to cool down and calm the angry seas of conflict. The Almighty says, verse 26, do not let the sun go down while you are still angry. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 26, New International Version. Don't allow old issues to be unreconciled. Stubbornness and pride allowed many years to be senselessly wasted. Festering sores from the lingering disease of disputes, disappointments, and a host of broken promises left very visible, unforgiving scars on them both. In the end, God revealed the way to bless my sister. The Eternal inspired my sister to call him on his bedside phone. This simple solution allowed father and daughter to talk. I'd like to explain briefly the background before their conversation took place. When I arrived, the doctor told me that my dad couldn't speak. However, the doctor said my pops was communicating with him through his mind. Perhaps, yes, believe it or not, telepathically. He went on to explain that my father was telling him to bring his entire family to him. The doctor said to me repeatedly, I don't want you to think I'm crazy or I have lost my mind, but I really feel your father is speaking to me, saying, please just get my family here. He also said my dad spoke to his mind that he was going to hold on physically until this was accomplished. At my arrival, he said, your pops became more peaceful and his vital signs stabilized. But he said to me privately, there must still be someone else. This is the reason he's holding on, because he should have been gone now. Time is running out. In the medical profession, we've seen similar cases like this many times, and the patient don't last as long as your father has. The doctor continued, I know in my heart and soul your father was communicating to my mind, and God allowed me to hear him. There must still be someone else. And that is when the understanding came to me. Of course, he's waiting for my sister, Audrey. My father realized they still had issues to resolve, things to be reconciled. The Creator blessed those issues to be relatively cleared, so he could die in peace, and his daughter could live in peace. The Almighty granted his grace by allowing them to clear the air of the past. Poisoned by many fights before, the sun went down on his and her life. Speaking with Audrey, his only daughter, my father became more and more at peace. The final night of my dad's life followed a fine divine line orchestrated and ordered by the Creator himself. Other family members came, paid their respects, wept, and left. Only my brother and I were left with my father. When we were inspired to sing the song and moved to read the Almighty's word, suddenly his vital signs began to ebb away. The breath of God began to be removed from his soul. Literally, God blessed him to pass away in peace. It bears repeating. Unfortunately, too often we wait and wait and wait some more, but time is not on our side. Life is uncertain at best. Many times we remain too proud, too foolish, stupid, and unforgiving to make wrongs right again, to reconcile with those we love and forgive them. I've heard many people in similar circumstances say, "I'm not ready yet. I still need more time. I'll do it, but later, when I'm ready. I just need more time." They always say, "I'll do it tomorrow, tomorrow." And suddenly, there is no tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes. Do any of you remember the song, "For All We Know"? Many artists have sung it, but I believe the best version was by Donny Hathaway. However, there was a really profound introduction given by another artist, Carmen McRae. Before she began this song, she introduced it with this statement: "You know, I have sung this song for many years, but I don't think that I really understood the words until a dear friend of mine passed away, without warning and forever. So, if there are words you have to say to someone dear, say them now. For, as the song says, tomorrow may never, never come."
You know, I have sung this song for many years, but I don't think I really understood the words until a dear friend passed away without warning and forever. So, if there are words you have to say to someone dear, say them now. For as the song says, tomorrow may never, never come.
Rest, meditate, and reflect. For Salah, think on this question: have you forgiven all who have trespassed against you? Verse 13, bear with each other and forgive whatever grievances you may have against one another. Forgive as the Lord forgave you. Colossians chapter 3, verse 13, New International Version.